Okay, so here we are, VE Commodore. Today I'm attempting to install this, a Bluetooth component that will actually allow me to play music and whatever podcasts through my Commo. At the moment I'm currently just using the auxiliary port, which is actually playing up a bit, so the sound quality is really shit. So yeah, I'm gonna have a go at installing this and hope for the best. Obviously with the VEs you've got the Bluetooth for the phone, but for some reason no audio or anything like that. So yeah, let's see how we go. Alrighty, so obviously we're in the driver's side footwell here, and you can see these two panels, this one here and this one here, and we have to remove those before we can do anything. Essentially then all I did was just yank this down. So there's a couple of tabs on it. There's one at the front here, and there's also one at the back here, but that actually came off pretty easy. And then we've got this one as well, which, as you can see, just slides out really easily as well, and that gives us access to where we want to install this bad boy. Okay, so next step is to actually pull this connector out, which I've already done, but access to get to this is actually quite difficult. So what I had to do was, obviously you've got to push down on this tab up the top here. So I really had to get a screwdriver up the top, press down on that, and then pull out from the base. And that was by far the easiest way to get that out, unless you got, you know, the hands of a small child. It's very difficult, but yeah, so that came out pretty good. So now I put that to one side, then we grab this is our connector here. So obviously it goes in the same way, upright, with the tab up the top. So it's difficult to show you this because I'm only using one hand, but hang on a second. Okay, so I had to put down the phone because it was just too awkward to do it with one hand. And it's also handy if you've got like a little bit of a torch here as well, so you can actually really see into there and to where the connector goes. So I've got that in, I've pushed it all the way in. So that's obviously replaced this little doover that I've pulled out, so I've replaced with this one. Now, next step is this connector here. We need to actually wire our red here into, you can actually see in there, the brown and the yellow. We need to combine that, so in order to do that we actually need to pull this connector out as well. So to do that we need to push this towards the rear of the vehicle. Hang on 2 secs. Alrighty, so yeah, this was a bit of a bugger to get out. So as you can see, I pulled it out. It's got this channel here, and you can see the other section is still actually in place. So if you can imagine this like that, and then we actually pull this forward towards the rear of the car, and actually slides off this part here, which is on the channel. But really had to use like a considerable amount of force to get that off, and I was a bit worried I might break it, but it didn't break. But yeah, so that's the next step. This is the actual power connector for the rear auxiliary, which is what we're actually going to be using to power our Bluetooth. So here we have it. So we've got the brown and yellow connector. So now we have to on our new Bluetooth, this red wire here, that's going to be connected in with that brown and yellow one. So that is the next step. Okay, so as you can see now, we've connected our red wire to the same pin as the brown and yellow wire here. So the brown yellow is there, and the matching pin, if it's upright like this with that horizontal pin at the top and the two verticals down the bottom, it's on the right hand side. So now that we have power for our new Bluetooth, we now need to ground this device using the black one, which is ground at the back here, if I can focus. So to do that, stupidly, this actually does not come with a like a ring terminal, which is what I'm going to need. So I'm going to have to go to Super Cheap or something and get a ring terminal, and then I will continue this video. But obviously, next step is just to put that back in the reverse order that I actually took it off. Okie dokie, so I've slid that connector back on, and as you can see, that's that red wire from the Bluetooth that it's all hooked up, so that's all ready to go. Next step is, at the back of the unit here, you can see we need to connect our black wire to ground it on the back here, like there's an existing one there. So as you can see, I've already loosened this little hex bolt just with a 10mm ring spanner. I found that was the easiest. You could use a socket, but you're going to need a pretty small little socket set because it's pretty tight in there. Now with our unit, as you can see here, the black does not come with a ring terminal, which is a bit stupid because that's what we need. So just have to go down and buy ourselves one. So I'll just cut that other terminal off and just run into here, then crimp it, and then we can connect it back to the ground. So I'll show you that shortly. Okay, so as you can see now, I've wired that black wire into that ring terminal, which is now also connected and grounded via that hex bolt that I've actually just screwed back on, obviously with a 10mm spanner, obviously keeping the existing connector on there as well. So yeah, so technically it was actually completed, the entire installation of this thing, but I went to turn it on and I was getting a zero sound. Now I knew that the Bluetooth was actually connecting because I connected it to the and paired my phone with the Bluetooth name that it was given with this unit, and you know, when I turned off my ignition on my car, the song stopped or paused, and like even though you can't hear any sound, you could tell if it had actually paused and it was actually going. So I knew I had power, but for some reason I didn't have any sound. So what I found was that the actual connector that came with the unit was actually wired the wrong way around. Now the reason I know this is because if you look at the existing auxiliary, when that goes in, you can see all the wires are on the right hand side. Now the unit that I bought, all the wires were actually originally wired into the left hand side, which is useless. So that means they're connecting into nothing. So essentially I pulled that Bluetooth unit out up the top here again, and essentially just gave it a 180 and put it all back together, and then slid it back in. And as soon as I turned the car on with the rear auxiliary, yeah, I could hear a bit of distortion. I thought, oh yeah, that's a good sign. And even though I can't actually, you know, flick the music on because I'm actually recording video with my phone, I can guarantee you guys it actually worked perfectly in rear auxiliary, and the actual sound is a shitloads better than the using the front auxiliary with a cord that half the time doesn't want to work anyway. So there you go, guys. Yeah, job done. Probably wasn't as easy as what I thought it would be. Took me a little while to do, and it was a bit of mucking around, but well worth it. One thing though is, you're probably wanting to know if you can actually use your phone through this Bluetooth, and the answer to that is no. So this Bluetooth is strictly just for, you know, for audio and media. You'll still have to connect to the Bluetooth code for your phone as normal. So essentially you're going to have two Bluetooths for the Commo now, which is a bit of a pain, but you know, it's pretty rare that you're making phone calls on in your car anyway, so you can flick across pretty easy. But there you go, guys. Please like the video. Be nice. It's my first one. Let's be honest, I'm pretty shit at this. But yeah, have a go. Well worth it. See ya. Bye.